Hello America and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is Ryan Olson coming at you with the latest draw from the 2022 MoPac Mixed Playdowns from the Southern California Curling Center. Happy for you to have joined us today. The first end turned into a 5-spot for Team Howells. We're on a different sheet, so I had to make some adjustments, and that would also include the microphone setup. So if there are some concerns, let me know, and I'll try to do what I can. So in the second end, it looks like Team Stefani has a shot rock no, I apologize. I try to see around people. It's all Howells so far in the second end. Also, when I can, I will be doing updates on the other game progress on sheet 6. As you can tell by the scoreboard, the red team scored in the first end. They got a 1 on sheet 6. You can't see that. Back up to our feature sheets. Team Howells is sending the next shot down the ice. Looks like it's going to tap on the yellow and roll into the house. It looks like it might be enough for shot. No, I think it rolled on top of the yellow. But it's good enough for second shot as the other yellow rolled toward the right side of the 12-foot. Going on with the Omicron surge. And it looks like that draw was enough to be second shots. So now for Team Stefani, I think they want to try and dial up the crosshouse double. Looks like they're lined up for a shot, for a takeout. Team Stefani, Dan Stefani, the skiff has curled for 9 years. But I'm not quite sure. Shots underway. Katie Feldman, the lead, is sweeping. And gets one, it rolls across and taps the yellow. And settles in behind cover, including a guard and another red rock in the house. So a pretty well done shot. So now Team Howells, skipped by Garnett Howells, is calling the shot for his acting vice skip, who is Lexus Chi. This shot is going to be a, looks like a run back. Got some rocks moving, pushed the red into the house, and back to the 12. I would apologize for some of the camera angles not being perfectly level, but if you watch some of my broadcasts, you can tell that you would know that it's something of a challenge that I'm always trying to work out. But we're here, we're broadcasting, and I'm happy to be here. The game is going to be 8 ends, as opposed to the 10 that you would traditionally see in competitive play at this level. Sweepers are on it. No, this is sorry, it's Stefani. I'm getting a little confused already. So that was a hit and roll of sorts. I think it was a little heavier than they wanted. So now red is sitting 1 and 2, with yellow Howells being 3 and 4. So you can't hear me talk sometimes, but you can definitely hear these chairs screeching across the concrete. Looks like it's going to hit the yellow and roll. And rolls to a pretty good spot. It looks like they're going to try, Howells is going to try and take it out, but there's a pretty decent chance that it might jam on the red of the bat. So if you missed the first game, Garnet Howells began his curling career in Edinburgh, Scotland in the late 80s. He played junior curling in Scotland for 3.5 years, ultimately a school skip for George Heriot, and made the semifinals of the junior nationals, as well as winning a few small bonspiels in Scotland in the 1990s. Pretty good. It's going to get one and roll. Ooh, just a little touch on the back red. So it looks like now Howells is sitting 1, 3, 4. and Team Stefani has 2 and 5. So if Stefani hits it on a good angle, hits the yellow that shot at it on a good angle, they can secure a deuce. And that he has his broom down. Okay, so they weren't going to try and tap that yellow out. They're going to settle for a draw for 1, but it needs to stop. Howells is sweeping. It needs to stop. Oh no! So it looks like it's a steal of 1 for Team Howells. So we are going up 6-0. Team Howells over Team Stefani. As we continue with the 2022 looks like they might be doing a measure. I apologize. We're gonna stay right here. We're going to check out the measuring action, the first of the tournament. And people who watch curling on TV know how exciting it is to watch the measure. So much so they're doing a new TV comedy called How I Met Your Measure. New on Hulu. And I'm joking, I'm referring to, there's a new How I Met Your Father show that actually started this week. So, one of the ice tests does have the measure bar out, which is a pressure gauge. It's just measuring how much pressure there is against the sensor that is in the mobile portion of the arm. And so it looks like they're going to go. I think they want to go clockwise. Oh no, okay, so he's moving the bar out a little further. Okay, so now he's getting set. And this pressure gauge is very important because your eyes can deceive you based on the angles of the cameras and the overhead. Oh, so it looks like it was 2, I believe. So that would be a steal of 2. And I'll make sure they post it on the board before I update my scoreboard again. And so now we're going to take a break on here, but moving back to the other game on the other sheet between Team Maxey and Team McDonald, it was a blank in the second end. So it is still 1-0 as they are now in the third end. And it was a steal of 2 for Team Howells on our feature sheet. So speaking of the ice tats, definitely want to give a shout out to the Southern California Curling Center and their tremendous amount of assistance in helping to run this event. I know it's been tricky. It's been tricky over the past couple weeks or a month, especially with what's been going on with the Omicron surge. And hopefully everyone's doing their part just to make sure that we can have these events take place safely. And speaking of safety, we are observing several COVID protocols here. Net shot coming down from Feldman. And I figured out what was going on with my sounds. So we're now, you can hear me for better or for worse. And that was a draw to the left side of the sheets. And now Howells, I think wants to take out that red. And he's going to ask the second Ahmet USL to take it out. Looks like it might be a little wide, but it's coming back. So it hits the red out of play, and the yellow rolls to the edge of the house. I think it might be biting, might not. So for Katie Feldman, she's started curling in 2014. And she has been president of the One Country Curling Club since July 2016, after 2 years, and is one half of the MoPac mixed doubles champion from 2019. She also earned bronze at the 2018 Arena Nationals that were proudly hosted at my home club, the Utah Olympic Oval Curling Club. And so this shot looks like to me be a little bit wide. It's not going to touch anything. So now for Howells, it looks like it's setting up to be a pretty good end for Howells. And his second, Ahmet Uysal, he's curled for 4 years in Houston and 7 years in Turkey. This shot looks like it might be on a little, the weight's pretty good. I was going to say it's a little light. But actually, it does settle in quite nicely just above the tee line. And so now there's a pretty tasty target for Team Stefani. So this, I believe, is, I'm going to guess it's Stefani. The bios that we have an order of woman, man, which is fairly common in the mixed team formats. However, they do have the rotation as a man, woman, where where a woman would throw the last 2 stones. So I have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. This shot looks like they wanted to throw into the pile. And they're going to get one, and that's it. It is a situation where a slight miss by Howells could jam the red onto the yellows. But this is now a shot coming from Lexis Chi. It's Leslie's sister. She is the vice skip, acting for this weekend as she's a new junior curler and has been playing for about a year. I was talking with the Chi family's father, and they were saying that this is kind of the first big tournament that they've played in. So good luck to them. I know everyone has hopefully a good tournament experience, especially starting out. But for a regional competition, it's a bit different. So for Lexis Chi's shot, it did run the reds into the yellows and kind of open things up on that right side. And so now for Stefani. Looks like trying to guess which shot they wanted to. I think they would want to draw to the left and hopefully set up a possibility of a deuce or more. So his shot's underway. As Feldman walks it into the house, looks like it needs to sit down a little bit. Actually, it waits really good. It just tapped the yellow slightly. It rolled the red. The red stayed open, so it made it easy for Howells to choose his shot. And he wants it gone. So here comes Alexis Chi with her last shots. It's an out turn, take out. It's over curling, and it hits the red, but the red jams on the yellow. So I would score that as a bit of a miss. And so now the door is pretty open for Stefani. So it looks like in this situation Stefani is skipping but throwing third rocks. Which you see sometimes in competitive curling. Sometimes it works rather well. And so for this shot, I think they would want to try and kind of dial up a similar shot to what Dan threw the first time, which was a draw towards the back 8. So a little less weight, but this similar line, a little less weight, and hopefully it'll provide some cover and make it hard for Howells to put a rock into the center of the house. So, Katie Feldman's on it. So now that I'm looking at the ice more consistently, I think Stefani is playing with 3 players. And so I'll keep an eye on that to confirm, but that would mean Feldman is throwing lead, Stefani is throwing second in skipping, and Barbry is throwing the last 2. Now for Howells' net shot, let's see what he has in mind. Sweepers are going really hard, needs to make contact. I think he was hoping for a bit more of a roll, but it does get rid of one of the 2 red counters. So Stefani's in a good position to get 2. It would be interesting to see if he could try and get 3 out of this. And it does seem possible. It looks like he wants to draw under the guard that's on the left side. And so this is Aline Barbry, if I understand it correctly. She's curled for nearly 4 years at Wine Country Curling in both team and doubles leagues. She's also participated in the Fall Wine Country Bonspiel, a couple of 5 and unders in Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington, and a few fun spiels in Stockton and LA. So the shot looks to be a little light. Stefani is coming out to help. So it's still a little light. It's probably not going to curl up as much as they had hoped. And it does provide an option for Howells. I think he was looking at drawing around on the left side. Looks like Lexus Chi was looking at the other side, but Howells has her moved to the left. Okay, so he's in the hack and he is calling her onto the other side. And so now he's going to do the in-turn clockwise rotation. And I think he's going to try and draw around that red that's in the top of the house. Weight's pretty good. Sweepers are on. I think they wanted to curl a little bit more, but it is enough to be shot in the back four. So Stefani wants backline weight. And I think just wants to tap that red out of there. Sorry, the yellow out of there. And this is the looks like the final shot of the end coming from Aline Barbry. So Feldman's just walking it down. It looks to be the little heavier than back line. It's a little wide, and so it wrecks on the yellow that was in the top 8 12-foot area. And it appears to be a steal of 1 for Team Howells. So we're heading into the fourth end with the score 8-0 in favor of Howells. Updating the score on the other sheets, where it is a game between Team Maxey and Team McDonald. McDonald got onto the board with a single point in the third. So Maxey has the hammer in the fourth. In the fourth end, we are going to be taking a 5-minute break. And the ice techs are going to do, I think, a mop and kind of pebble the slide path, the glide path for in front of the hacks. So we're about to get the fourth end underway. It's part of, this is the middle game of our Friday triple header. We have another game scheduled for tonight that's set to take place at 7:30. And then we have another triple header set up for Saturday. with games at 9:30, 2:30, and 7:30. And that will complete our round robin of play. And depending on the standings, either we will have a champion at the point, or there might be the possibility of one or two tiebreakers that we would have on Sunday morning, which everyone loves. Everyone loves tiebreakers. Here comes the first shot for Leslie Chi. That's the second shot. So that puts a guard just over the center part of the house. Here's the next shot coming from Feldman. I think they're hoping to take advantage of the corner guard. And is able to get it there. And so Howells looks like he wants to hit roll. And we'll see if Ahmet will execute. His team in Turkey won 2 silver and 1 bronze medals in the Turkish league. He also played in the European Mixed Championship in 2013. So that shot hits the red guard, and it essentially just traded guards. Okay, so they're putting the guard back because the 5-guard rule was in effect. And the 5-guard rule essentially says that the rocks that are in front of the house cannot be, you cannot remove an opponent's stone until after the 5th delivered rock to the end. So that yellow pushed the red out of play and was a free guard zone violation. Although I think that is the last rock in the 5-rock rule. So now all rocks are fair to be taken out. And one of the reasons why this rule wasn't put into place was to help generate offense. When you have guards in play, it provides cover to put rocks into the house and increases the possibility of scoring. So this is Feldman's third. So Katie helps run 2 bonspiels every year out of Wine Country Curling, the Barrel at Late March and the Crush on Labor Day. And she's also helping with the MoPac 5 and Under Committee. That's a super fun bonspiel or curling tournament that is for curlers with less than 5 years of curling experience. Registration is open now for the MoPac 5 and Under. So if you live or if you're part of MoPac, we would definitely encourage you to consider joining us at the Denver Curling Club. They are our hosts, and the event is set for mid-April. So this shot makes contact with the... Ooh, it's a double. I say it was a double, but I think it hit one of theirs out. So not quite not a true double. So thanks to a commenter on YouTube, I now know that this is Dan Stefani. I was thinking that he was related to the No Doubt singer Gwen Stefani, but it's actually Stefani. So, my apologies, and I will do my best to get it right from here on out. So Stefani has the shot lined up. I think he just wants to draw around that center guard. Feldman's cleaning, it looks like. Sweeping, I think, trying to encourage it over. And it is curling, but I don't know if it's going to curl enough. And it does not. So now there's a possibility of a double for Howells. This is a bit of a tricky shot for a first-year curler. But it looks like she has a pretty good delivery technique. Howell saying hard. Don't want it to wreck on the guard, but it looks like it does hit the guard. So it does clear out the front of the front area in front of the house. But now Stefani has a chance to really turn up the pressure here and get on the board with a multiple point score. On the other sheet, Maxim and Donald have gone into the fourth end break. As soon as I see the score posted, I will let you know. You might also see it happening because you can see kind of the edge of the scoreboard on the right side of the screen. So this is Stefani's next shot. They're happy with the weight so far. Now Feldman's going after it. He's going to tap the red back toward the back forefoot. It leaves that shot stone open. I guess ideally it would have tapped it straight back, and then the shot ruck would have provided some cover for the shot stone. But it puts another rock in the house, and again, really turns up the pressure on Howells. So this is Leipzig cheese last. Definitely going to make contact. That was a nice sound. And it rolls to the right. So things are looking pretty good for Team Stefani. As his bio notes, he has been curling for about 9 years now, the majority of which has been with one country, curling. They're based out of an arena in Roseville, California. That's just about 20 minutes east of Sacramento. So it looks like they have called for a hit. I think he would maybe like to roll towards the center, but that also might provide some backing for Howells to draw to. But here we go. This is Dan Stefani's first of 2 skip stones in the fourth. Katie Feldman sweeping. It looks like it's over curling a little bit. So it needs to go hard. It's going to hit the yellow. Okay, there's enough energy to kick that yellow out, and the red rolls to the back 12. So I think it was a little too far for Team Howells to draw to. So Howells looks like he's going to play on the red rock that's in the left side of the 8-foot. So Howells has Lexus Chi move the broom a little more toward the left, towards the center. I wonder if he's going to try and do a takeout. Just looking at the release, it seems to be more of a it looks to be a takeout. It's overcurling a little bit. It's going to hit the red, and the yellow shooter's going to roll left and towards the left side of the house pretty inoffensively at this point. He does make contact with that red rock, and it does kick that red out of play. So this is a situation where Stefani wants to put a rock into the house, but in a place where Howells can't make a play on it. I think he looks like he might want to draw to the left, perhaps under the red that's closest to the center tee line on the left side. But here we go. This is the last rock for... No, it's not the last. Sorry. It's the first of Aline Barbry's 2 stones. And again, Dan comes out to help Katie Feldman sweep. It looks like it's a smidge light. It might be enough to get into the house, but it will not get there. And a little worse, it does provide cover for Howells to put a shot, although I think he might want to hit and roll. Just kind of based on where he has Lexus put the broom. So basically he's going to throw out the broom, and then hopefully the stone will go to the right, hit the red out, and then have the shooter yellow roll towards the center. So that looks to be the shot that he's called. Doesn't want the sweepers on it. They're just kind of ushering it down. It looks like it's going to hit the red. Just clips it. Red goes out of play, and the yellow rolls through. So now Team Stefani has the 1 red. And if he touches, Team Stefani and Aline Barbry basically get their last stone to touch the full 12-foot, they will get a deuce. And here is Barbry's last. Looks like the shot's pretty good. Katie Feldman, as they say, not laying a broom on it. Howells now is going pretty hard. And it's going to be a little heavy and go through the house. Just the 1 for Team Stefani. So they go into the break on the board, though. When we come back in about 5 minutes, it's going to be Team Howells with the hammer, as we continue with coverage of the 2022 MoPac Mixed Team Playdowns from the Southern California Curling Center. But before I take my pause, just to update the score on sheet 6, Team Maxey scored a deuce in the 4th to take a 3-1 lead over Team McDonald. We will be right back in just a moment, and thanks for staying with us. Hello out there. We're back on the air as we continue with our coverage of the 2022 MoPac Mixed Playdowns from the Southern California Curling Center. We are back after a fourth end break with our feature sheet game between Team Stefani of Wine Country Curling Club and Team Howells of Hollywood. This next shot is coming from Leslie Chi, the lead for Team Howells. Looks like he wants to get around that guard. Made some contact on the red that's in the house, and mission accomplished. Just really quickly, we were talking about some of the upcoming bonspiels that Wine Country was holding in the bonspiel. That's also coming up, called Rising Stars. And registration's open for that now. And that is a qualifier for the 5 and under National Championship, which is going to be hosted by Southern California Curling Center in May, I want to say. Also, we had a comment on the chat about will we be posting line scores. The goal was to post the line scores, and I think they do want to post line scores to bonspieler.com after the game. Ideally, we'd be doing it during the game, but it's just, I think, a manpower situation. So definitely, ideally, we want to try and do as much as we can, and we are doing as much as we can, including this broadcast. So, Ahmed Uasal's shot made some contact on the red and rolls it out to the back of the house, the back 12. So it looks like a pretty good shot, and Dan Stefani is going to make a play on the yellow that was just delivered. This seems as good a time as any to let you know that this broadcast is presented by authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. However, I think I said it before, but if you wanted to do a papier-mâché of this game and broadcast it, we might let that happen. So Dan Stefani's shot does get the yellow out of play and rolls towards the right, still in play. And this next shot is coming from this is Ahmet's second shot, I believe. So all three sweepers are on it. Hopefully going to get it in the house, which it does, and it gets undercover. Looks to be, I would say, 2/5 buried. So I definitely think that Stefani can see a piece of it. Just kind of looking at the house to see what the strategy may be. Howells does have the last shot in this end. I think they might be lining up to run the red back onto the yellow. Or maybe, actually it looks like more perhaps going to be a draw, or maybe tap the open side of the yellow. So it looks like it's curling up pretty well. Going to get around the guard, and it's going to make get some action on the yellow. Aline is sweeping it, and it will go out of the house. So good shot from Dan Stefani. So next shot coming from Team Howells and Lexus Chi. I think he wants to clear that guard. I think if it clips the red that's in the house on the way through, more the better. But I think at the very least get rid of the guard. Looks to be a bit wide, so maybe you're looking at a plan B, and it's going to touch the red in the house, which may have been the shot all along. It is now a very open house. Although there is that red that is in the back 12. Looks like it might be biting. So some other fun facts about Dan Stefani. He's participated in various MoPac men's and area playdown teams as a lead or advice. At locations in Arizona, Oregon, and Tahoe. He's also played several California Bonspiels, including the Crush, the Barrel, the New Year's Eve Spiel in Southern California, the California Curling Championships, the Silicon Valley Spiel, and etc. I went to the etc. Spiel one year. Always kept wanting more. And in this case, Stephanie's shot does hit on the guard, wreck on the guard, and rolls towards the left. It is under the cover of the yellow guard. It might be biting, so it does tend to, I think it does increase the pressure on Howells. Now this is Lexus Chi's last. I think they just want to draw a round. Weight looks to be maybe just a smidge heavy. Might be through. Howells not calling the sweepers on it, and the sweepers are just letting it go. It's going to go through the house. So now there's a chance again for Team Stefani to turn the screws a little bit on Team Howells and maybe get a steal out of this end, or at the very least make it a lot harder for Howells to score. This is Aline Barbary. She participated in the U.S. Women's Curling Association Women's National Bonspiel in 2020 and plans to be there for 2022. She has played all four of the four-person curling positions: lead, second, vice, and skip. But not mascot. Mascot's one of those team positions that doesn't get filled very often. So she puts one in the top 8. And it looks to be a tasty target for Garnet Howells. So he started curling in Edinburgh. He took about 20 years off, and then he curled for about 3 years out of the Philadelphia Curling Club. And it took another pause for about 7 years. And now he's back on the ice, having resumed play at dedicated ice here in Los Angeles, trying to get flexible again. That looks like he had enough enough flexibility to get this shot underway. Looks like it's going to be a hit. Maybe roll a little. No, it's going to be a nose hit. And gets rid of the red. So Howells does have the hammer in this end, and so there's a possibility that he can get a deuce depending on what happens here. But it looks like Stefani does not want it to happen and is calling for Aline to do the takeout. Feldman sweeping. Now she's off. It's going to be a hit. And yellow's going to sail past the red that's in the back 12. And now Team Stefani is sitting 2, maybe 3. And I think essentially leaves a draw for Garnet Howells to get a single in here in this 5th end. Or what end are we in? The 5th end. So it looks like they changed the broom position, and I think they're going to go for a hit. He's throwing the intern clockwise rotation. He's going to hit the yellow, but I think he wanted a little bit of a roll or to maybe make contact on the red of the back. But in the end, it looks like the yellow is pretty close to being shot. We're going to see what they post before calling it. But we're going to find out right now. It's a single with a hammer for Howells, and so he is taking a 9-1 lead here in the 6th end, or heading into the 6th end. MoPac would like to extend our gratitude to our broadcasting chair and live stream producer, et moi, it's me, Ryan, for volunteering his time and resources to make this live stream happen. The spirit of curling is the spirit of volunteerism. Visit mopacca.org or your local club to get involved today. And curling really does benefit from volunteers. And as a matter of fact, we do have the teams volunteering their time when they're not on the ice to help with timing the games. And I know several people with Southern California Curling Center are they're making sure that this ice is as competition worthy as possible. So this first shot from Leslie Chi is going to be I was going to say a guard, but it is a guard. Pretty tight to the center of the house. So it looks like Dan Stefani wants Katie Feldman to go for a corner guard. And it looks like the corner guard is going to be accomplished. So one reason you would put up guards is that you could set up opportunities later in the end. So if you're new to curling, you want to kind of draw play toward the outside of the rings if you have the hammer, so you can increase the chances of a multiple point score. If you don't have the hammer or the opportunity to throw a last rock, you want to control kind of the center area in front of the center part of the house and the area in front of it as well, because you want to basically reduce the scoring area to make it harder for the team with the hammer to score. And the strategy might change depending on what you're trying to accomplish each end. And the skip will kind of look beyond the net's immediate shot to see what the shots to call later in the end, and then also to kind of look at what the ultimate objective is for the end, and also to look at the goal for the game, because you might take more risks depending on if you need to score or not. And in this situation, like with the Howells having a significant lead, it would probably be to his benefit to either make the scoring area a lot smaller or to keep a wide open house to make it harder for Stefani to score multiple points. Now with Stefani, in his team's position, you would want to score multiple points, and so you want to try and draw play to the wings and hopefully set up a chance to score 2 or 3 to really get back into this game. So with Howell's shot, looks like he was drawing around the corner guard. I think that may have been the call, but it's pretty open. This is really good ice here. The tee weight is about 14 seconds from hog to hog, which is a common way to measure time. This shot from Katie Feldman looks like it's going to curl towards the yellow in the bag, maybe kind of clip it on the way out. And it does. And the red itself, the shooter, will stay in play but not be in the rings as far as I can tell. So for Howells, I think he wants to draw around his center guard that was put up as the first rock in the end. So sweepers are going now. It looks like the weight's maybe a smidge heavy. It looks like it's going to curl up. Looks like it curled up pretty well. It's going to be about a 4/5 berry, pardon me. Although when you look at it on this angle, it looks to be maybe more like 3/5 buried. But it does provide perhaps some backing for Team Stefani to draw to. So looking at the game on the other sheet, the game between Team Maxey and Team McDonald. Team McDonald answered with a deuce in the 5th. So we are again all square at 3 with the game Maxey and McDonald on sheet 6. And they are in the 6th end. Back on our feature sheet, it looks like Stefani is going to do the draw, get around those guards, and you have some backing with that yellow in the back 8-foot. Looks to be maybe just a little bit wide. Weight's pretty good. It is. I said it was going to be a little wide, but it is curling up really nicely. And it is right on the button. Which would be a good shot normally, but I think it's a little open, so Howells can, hit it out. And that is what he lets his chi to do. Supers are going hard. It hits the yellow. So wrecked on the guard. The guard goes out of play. The shooter goes out of play. And now an opportunity reveals itself for Team Stefani. As they kind of look at their shots here, I think they would want to kind of cover their shot rock, maybe as an alternative to locking it right onto the red shot rock. And then as a plan C to like tap the shot rock yellow back onto the shot rock red onto the back yellow. But we will see what they have in mind as Stefani gets into the hack. So it looks like it's over curling. Okay, so maybe they wanted to use the corner guard that they put up early in the end, which appears to be the case. But it was a little light. And now just adds another corner guard. And now the opportunity is there for Howells to hit out that red shot rod.
Heat. Measurement on 6.
So it's going to clip the red. Red goes out of play, and the shooter rolls out as well. So it's just a Howells sitting the 1 in the house. Stefani does have 3 rots remaining as a team. So it looks like they could potentially set up a deuce. They do have those corner guards on the left. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to use those corner guards. Also, the YouTube camaraderie has noted that the Southern California Curling Center is also hosting the curling component of the Cal State Games in early March. It's open to all California residents, and registration is open now. So you have a chance to win a piece of California's gold. We were talking about Howells at lunch. And God rest his soul. He was a great character and a great ambassador for California culture and history in the state. So if you have a chance to watch any of his episodes, I think KCET, the Southern California Public TV station, has a lot of archived episodes on their website. In this shot, okay, so it was not able to go around the corner guard. It rests on the guard and rolls towards the back 8 foot. It's good enough to be shot. So it leaves a target for Howells. I think he doesn't necessarily need this. He doesn't need rocks in the house because of the advantage that he has with the score. So ideally, he would take out the red. If it hits the yellow on the way out, that's not the end of the world, just as long as that red goes away. So it looks like it's online. It's on target. Yep, awesome. So it does hit the red, and the red sails past the back yellow without causing any damage. So now for Team Stefani, they looks like they're going to stick to their strategy, which made sense. Those yellows in the back of the house are, a potential to make it hard for them to score, but ideally you want to set up the chance for 2. So Dan Stefani wants Aline Barbary to go to the left under those corner guards. It's not curling up though, and looks to be a little heavy. So I think they're trying to do a plan B and maybe hit the yellow. It only kisses it, and that red goes out of play. So now for Howells can kind of put up a blocker and make it a lot harder for Team Stefani to find the house to get that to get one now. We also have another commenter noting that Southern California Curling Center will be hosting the Hollywood Curling Summer Blockbuster Bonspiel in July, which is always a fun time from what I've heard. So needless to say, there's a lot of curling happening, and we definitely hope that you will find your way down to Southern California Curling Center or a curling club near you to take advantage of some of these great opportunities coming up in the next few months. So Howells' last shot is touching the top of the 12-foot. And like I said, the main strategy was just to make it harder for Team Stefani to get into the house. And so this is Aline Barbry's last shot, the last rock in the 6th end. And so they're going to kind of shoot the gap between those two guards, or there's two sets of guards. Needs to sit down though, needs to stop. Howells is sweeping it past those two yellows, and it does appear to be a steal of two. And that is enough for Team Stefani tonight, or this afternoon, as they are exchanging expressions of gratitude as a prominent comedian / curler, John Colin, has coined. It's a great phrase. So that wraps up the action on this sheet. We did have a measure on sheet 6, the game between Team McDonald and Team Max. It looks like Maxie scored a deuce in the 6th. It's a 6th. So Maxie has a 5-3 lead over McDonald. So that's going to kind of wrap things up for the midday draw here on our Friday triple header. When we join you tonight, it looks like we are going to be back on sheet 4. We moved sheets because there's a bye on the sheet. So when we join you at 7:30, it's going to be a match between Team Stefani, which we just saw, and Team Maxie. So we definitely hope you'll join us then. And we also have a triple header set up on Saturday with games at 9:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. So for all of us here at MoPac, the Mountain Pacific Curling Association, and the Southern California Curling Center, this has been your host Ryan saying so long and good curling.